Well, we're here.
We are here.
We are here.
We're here.
And
the Rona's still here.
Not here.
I mean,
not actually here, but
we just started
around.
these. We started these episodes when
we'll get there. That's for the second half. Damn it! I literally just told you how the episode was going to go.
Jumping the gun.
I literally just told you how the episode was going to go. So, if you've been along for the ride, you know that the voices that you're hearing are me. My name is Russ. Along with me is Kyle and.
No chance. That's what you got.
Joe Walsh agrees.
So
No
that's the
chance.
last time I have to hear that, right?
Well, now it's going to be featured on other episodes, but this was going to be the last time that you had to hear that. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, and that's Michelle's lovely voice, who we'll get into in the second half, was responsible for some moments in the tournament. So since about halfway through this tournament, things changed over to the listeners deciding who was going to win and move on, and it was done via a vote by the listeners on social media. So last week, after all the heartache and matches and everything we went through to get through the first 8 that before the listeners voted, and then the 8 since then, the final 2 albums that came up against each other were Prince and the Revolution, Purple Rain versus Led Zeppelin 4. And we gave our thoughts last week, and you two picked Purple Rain, right, to win?
Yeah. What did you pick?
I know, Led Zeppelin 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was sitting here, I was talking to both of you, and gave a whole list of reasons.
There's been times where I don't remember what I picked, so.
Sure. Well, I knew you picked Purple Rain, and I thought that you did, Kyle. Just wanted to make sure.
So you weren't sitting here when he said his?
No, I was.
Well,
you are the one just now who
picked.
couldn't remember. Holy cow. Anyways, so.
I've been feisty all day.
Oh, that's not good for anybody. So, one really cool thing, this has probably been my favorite segment of this whole tournament, is getting all the feedback from the listeners. So let's go into what we have.
Feedback, John. Don't worry about that. Right. How would rock and roll be without feedback?
So Michelle and Kyle have gathered the listener feedback that we have from the Facebook page and a little bit from Twitter, and I'm excited. How are you guys going to decide who goes first?
Rock, paper, scissors, bro.
No, we already did that.
I'm not allowed to play thumb war because I cheat, remember?
You can play it, you just
I might
can't cheat
again.
You can't trust yourself.
I can't trust myself.
Pick a number.
All right, between 1 and 100.
Oh, 1 and 100.
Yep.
13.
42.
You're closer. It was 70.
For the first time, you get to go first.
Yeah, I know. Go ahead, Kyle. What kind of feedback do you have over there?
Let's see. Jeffrey D. He says, what a great time these bonus episodes have been. We are now down to 2, and I love both of these artists and their respective records. To me, this whole final comes down to the feelings. What do you feel when you listen to these records? Which one speaks to you more? Purple Rain is a great soundtrack done by one of the best, if not the best, individual artists in history. Led Zeppelin is not only one of the most prolific rock bands in history, they are the preeminent model of what a rock band is. When I put on Led Zeppelin 4, I am giddy. I know what I am about to experience, and I can't wait to start. Not only is Led Zeppelin 4 my choice for this final round, it should be everyone's choice.
Jeff speaking for everybody here. Holy cow.
As good of a soundtrack as Purple Rain is, it doesn't hold a candle to 4. The flow on Zeppelin 4 is divine. In my humble opinion, this whole tournament was over as soon as you said Led Zeppelin 4. Prince will get some votes here for sure, but there can only be one, and that one is and should be Led Zeppelin 4.
Well,
damn.
Hey, do you think Jeffrey's weebling on this, like wobbling a little bit, or no? I think it sounds like he's pretty sure.
He's pretty sure it's Prince, right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
What kind of feedback do you have, Michelle?
I have Mario G. He's trolling. He says...
He's really good at it, though.
That doesn't make it right. He says, this was easy for me. The difference is Computer Blue. It's the most unique song on either album. Definitely Prince at his finest. JK, that's not how I decided. I said this to mess with Michelle.
Wonderful.
And he goes on and says, this was hard. I first tried to stick to the spirit of the competition, but if both albums were sitting on the table, it's 50-50. They're both just awesome beginning to end. So after another listen to both, I had an aha moment. When I finished listening to Led Zeppelin 4, I rarely let it repeat. I usually move on to something else or another Led Zeppelin album, probably House of the Holy, which is their best album, Fight Me.
I was thinking about that when I read that. That's probably accurate. Houses of the Holy probably is the best Led Zeppelin record.
I never heard of it.
Well, you would know most of the songs off of it. Like you would probably know as many songs on Houses as you do for.
Oh.
And they're all in one song.
Not the titles of the songs, just the songs themselves.
Yeah, definitely not the. Well, the one song that goes
Yeah.
you don't, that's on there.
What is it called?
Jermaker. It's called Jermaker.
Jermaker?
Yeah, it's a story for another time. I'll explain it to you afterwards.
All right. Then he goes on to say, however, Purple Rain almost always gets a repeat listening. That's how I decided on Purple Rain. Sincerely, a euchre player who could win with Kyle at 33 1/3 Appreciation Center in Speakeasy.
That is. I'm so glad he saved that for the end.
Yes.
That is the best signature that he's had
I need all the help I can get.
so far. I mean, wow. Because regular listeners will know we went into detail at how much Kyle can't play euchre. And Mario feels like he could take that crutch and do a Forrest Gump style run with it. So,
Bring it.
Several people have tried. It has not turned
I think
out
he's
well.
just planning on going alone the whole time.
Yeah.
He's going to go alone.
Kyle's going to be getting drunk in the corner.
Yeah. What do you got next, Kyle?
I got a couple of short ones here. Mike P says, Purple Rain. I love Zeppelin, but I can listen to Purple Rain front to back over and over and over again.
Yeah, that's pretty straight and to the point, you know?
Yeah, accurate. I agree with that. Josh W. Simply says, Led Zeppelin 4.
Damn. All right, what else you got?
I have Mike D. Not an easy choice. Prince was on my radar already when Purple Rain came out, but I believe 4 was the first Led Zeppelin album I'd heard. I wanted to hear more Led Zeppelin after hearing it, so I'm going with 4. So many great memories of both. And then Rick D says, okay, only one of these has the all-time, in caps, greatest song ever written on it, Stairway to Heaven. Just saying.
I don't know if I agree with that at all. But
I don't agree with it, but that's also not a vote.
Right, yeah. Right, yep. What, Kyle, you got more?
I got one more. Jamie P. Curse this tournament.
Oh, boy.
Who thought of this thing anyway?
Said the guy who thought of this tournament.
Said the guy who thought of this tournament. This is so hard. Zep 4 is foundational. Like Russ said, this is the album that launched 1,000 rock careers. I do prefer the track listing on Purple Rain to Zep 4. Don't tell me it's been a long time since you rock and rolled and when you just melted my face with Black Dog.
I would have never thought of that ever. Like the fact that Black Dog is such a rocker to kick off the record, and then the first line in rock and roll is, "It's been a long time since I rock and roll." No, it is not. You were doing it mere seconds ago.
Yeah,
that's funny.
But I totally get his point.
He also says, and I have to say that Purple Rain was more influential to my personal music taste growth. This comes down to looking at both of these albums on the coffee table and picking one up to drop the needle. Damn it, I have switched sides on this one twice, at least, while writing this. If the house is full, I'm reaching for Purple Rain. It lends itself better to social listening. However, if I have the house to myself, I will likely go to Led Zeppelin 4 first. And while Purple Rain takes me more places musically, Led Zeppelin 4 takes me home. I can't believe I am saying it, but 4 for the win.
What?
So, you know what I find interesting, though, is one of Mike Downing's detractors for Purple Rain was one of Jamie's positives. Mike was saying that Led Zeppelin made him want to look more into the catalog of Led Zeppelin, whereas Jamie's saying that that's what Purple Rain did for him. It made him more diverse, you know? So, like, I feel like a huge strength for the record for one person was a deterrent for the other, you know?
I think he's right about the social listening aspect of it, too. Like,
yeah.
One is way better.
For sure.
One is way better to listen to with a crowd than...
depending on the crowd.
Yeah, totally.
You know what I mean?
On the crowd,
you get a bunch of 40 and 50-year-old dudes around and you put on Led Zeppelin 4, it's going to be as big of a party as if you put on Purple Rain with any age. What else you got?
I have one more. Friend of the show, Joe, says, my vote goes to Purple Rain. I try not to overthink my decision and just go with my instinct on this one. I thought of all the albums in the bonus episodes, and there were only 2 I could think of that would have ranked above Purple Rain, and neither are Led Zeppelin 4. Don't get me wrong, Led Zeppelin 4 is a fantastic record in an iconic discography, but if I had to choose one to listen to, I'm almost always reaching for Purple Rain first.
How about that? Well, you know what's funny is the Facebook feedback this week is way more even than last week, because last week was like way one-sided on Facebook, and then Twitter was way one-sided the other way. So I have tallied up the votes between Twitter and Facebook, and I do have a winner. Are you guys ready to hear who the winner of the tournament is?
I'm ready.
I think I'm ready.
Okay. Is it on the dark web?
It's a secret.
All right, here we go. Here is the winner of the first, not annual, but first Infectious Groove podcast tournament as decided by our listeners.
I guess you could say she was a sex fiend. This is what it sounds like when doves cry.
Seemed to me, since everybody talked about how great every song on the record was and how they listened to it front to back, that was the best way to announce it.
Are we going to get flagged for that now?
We'll see. We'll see.
Nobody will find out who the winner is.
I hope you listen to this episode early on Friday. Because literally, if so, because I've had to do it before. I've had to take stuff out before. So if not, it's going to be you're going to hear us lead up to it, and then you're going to hear me be like, I had to remove this, and then it's going to be our reaction like, you guys should have heard that. It was awesome.
What I want it to be, if you have to remove it, is like the drum roll, and then it's just a computer being like Purple Rain.
Yeah, I will too. I'll get that speech synthesizer. But anyways, yeah. So here's how it broke down between Facebook and Twitter. I added up the votes for both. 198 votes were registered between Twitter and Facebook.
Hot damn.
Between the two, it broke down like this: 133 votes for Purple Rain, 65 votes for Led Zeppelin 4. I try and keep the show pretty positive, and I talked to you about this the other night, Kyle. I want to address some feedback that we got on Twitter, and I'm not going to call out the person, but someone tweeted at the account overnight, "How dare you compare these two albums?" Which, by the way, I'll compare any two albums I fucking want to. Yeah. Anyways, how dare you compare these two albums? Led Zeppelin is a 70s band, in all caps, and Prince is a solo, all caps, artist who got his start in the 80s. Let me lay some facts down for everybody real quick because I'm really irritated by this. Led Zeppelin got their start when their first record came out in the late 60s, not the 70s. And Prince, as a solo artist, had his first record come out in the 70s, not the 80s. And if you have a copy of Purple Rain, you can see clearly at the top of it that it says underneath the words Purple Rain, Prince and the Revolution, because he's playing with his band, The Revolution. So you used like 140 characters on your tweet, and 120 of them were wrong. So
you lose. Good day, sir.
My response to that is, what the fuck is your point?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, I'll compare a Sinatra record to a Metallica record. I don't care. I guess I'm wide enough minded to be able to handle that. I just was. And then we did get a couple of the people that were like, it seems like odd records to compare. And I was like, this is where the voting led us. We didn't just wake up one morning and we're like, two records are exactly the same. Led Zeppelin 4 and Purple Rain. I wanted to reply with the episode where Carole King went against Eminem and be like, oh yeah?
Yeah, there's a bunch of episodes where the music is completely different from one another.
Yeah. So having said that, we are going to take a real quick break and come back and discuss some of the ins and outs of the tournament. But your winner, in fact, is Purple Rain. So I'm happy with it. It's fine with me. I mean, I know I picked Zeppelin to win, but
Yeah, you're happy because they're both your records.
Correct. We'll be back in just a minute.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to Up All Night, an Are You Afraid of the Dark podcast. We're your hosts. My name's Cortland.
And I'm Brandon.
And in our podcast, we take apart each episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark, scene by scene, and discuss it in detail. This show is prime early 90s Canadian acting at its best. Or, in some cases, worst. We're here to laugh our way through 7 seasons and 91 episodes. So whether you're a fan of the show...
Think. That's hard dough. No, mister. Accent on the dough.
Hi, Andy. Won't you come play with me?
Hey, we're just having a goof.
Or experiencing it for the first time.
We know there's nothing better than staying up all night with a scary story.
Are you tired of watching your beloved characters being tortured by careless authors?
Are you sick of feeling like they could have swapped out all of the painful action and the plot would remain untouched? Subscribe to Books That Burn, the fortnightly book review podcast focusing on fictional depictions of trauma.
We assume that the characters' reactions are reasonable and focus on how badly or well they were served by their authors.
Join us for our minor character spotlights, main character discussions, and favorite non-traumatic things in the dark books we love.
Find us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, or wherever you get your podcasts.
So we're back, and all of the dust has settled now, and we have our first tournament winner, and that being Prince of the Revolution, Purple Rain. Now, usually at this point in the episode is where I mention support, like, hey, go to Anchor and whatever. But one thing I want to mention, and you've probably seen me post this meme on our Twitter account and Facebook, is, outside of monetary support, there's so many ways you can support a show that are absolutely free. Like every like, every share, every comment, all is huge.
Tell your friends.
Huge support for us. My point in saying that is, like, we absolutely could not have done this whole second half of this tournament without all of the support that we got. Like the very first week where we were like, hey, hopefully somebody comments, like you guys know, I was like, what? Like, look at all this awesome, and every week for people like us who have been at this as long as we have, like, really dissecting music, for people to regularly point out stuff that makes all three of us be like, whoa. I wouldn't have thought, like, before I even get into that, I want to say, like, just people taking the time to listen to the episodes, taking the time to do the comments, sharing it with their friends. Like, we have so many people that share nearly everything we post on Facebook, like, on their own page and whatnot. And, I mean, that's all free, but it takes your time and to care. And it really, really makes me feel good that we have, friends and listeners that have been doing that so far. And then the podcast community, too, has been very supportive. Like, the reason why we get hundreds of votes on Twitter and whatnot is because they're all retweeting all this stuff and getting attention and putting their own 2 cents in and whatnot. So I just wanted to say thank you very, very much to everybody. And we will probably, I'll touch on this at the end again. In the future, we'll probably do some other type of bonus episodes for funsies. But the way that this one came about is, I don't know if you guys are aware, but there was a health scare going around
it's over, though, right?
The country.
The president said it'd be over in the summertime.
Right.
Yeah.
So when all of that started to come down, we actually had a listener on a music forum say, well, I know you guys are new, but you got to start putting out more episodes, like, give everybody something to do. And so I brought that to you guys and was like, what do you think? And you guys were like, hell yeah, we're going to be sitting at home, like, why not? So we were then kind of dry on ideas. We, like, all three of us were like, I don't really know what we would do because we didn't want to burn through a bunch of topics from our main episodes and whatnot. And then a person who falsified his feedback this week, Jamie Porter, he was the one. He said, well, why don't you guys just pick some records and throw it together like NCAA style and do a tournament between the records? And then I said, well, yeah, that's fine. But, like, for example, I just said that it was awesome that the listeners really supported the last 8 weeks of this, right? It's one thing to ask people to do it from there. It's a whole other thing to ask for 16 weeks of it, you know?
Yeah.
So I was like, how are we going to do that? And Jamie was the one that was like, well, why don't you have Michelle pick? Because she'll love that.
Because I'm the heel?
Yeah, because she'll love that. And, and she'll be the one that makes, wants the controversial decisions and whatnot. So that's how it came about. As far as the records that I chose for it, to some extent I went with stuff that I really like, that I think would do well in a tournament, but I absolutely played to my audience to a certain extent as well.
Same here.
And I have a feeling, if I'm looking at yours, I feel like the ones you included for yourself would, and this is just a guess, I'm going to say Garth Brooks' No Fences and the Black Album by Metallica were probably like, I'm going to throw this out there and see if I can sneak it past Michelle or something.
Yeah, The Weeknd too, as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were already.
She likes The Weeknd, but I didn't think that she was going to be able to tolerate listening to 3 albums straight of old stuff of his.
Mm-mm.
Speaking of which, Cheater McGee. I literally, the day that you sent me my list, I was like, Cheater.
And I didn't really look at the list ahead of time. I was just like, what else albums I have to listen to this week? And you sent me that, and I was like, this is not one record.
and to be clear, the only thing that I said to you ahead of time was no live albums and no greatest hits, because live albums are essentially greatest hits.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's what I told Michelle. Michelle was like, "Well, do you want to have them, replace that record?" And I was like, "Well, I didn't make that a rule." So
I was more hoping.
So and also, I'm joking on the cheater thing. Like, I don't think you're I'm going to cheat at this. Like,
I just
if anything, that counted against you.
I randomly chose that one because I genuinely like that record.
Yeah.
Or those records. Those ones were for me. I definitely chose other ones that I knew that she would potentially push through.
Like Rumors. Oh, and then Without Fear by Dermot Kennedy.
Which is way better than
Pet Sounds. My God, no. Like, not on this planet or any other. And, like, I know I just got done on our last main episode talking about how much I've grown, and I'm not, like, the guy that's like, oh, no, what you said sucks and what I said is right. There is no planet in the solar system.
Yeah, planet Earth.
Where that Dermot Kennedy record is even in the same discussion with Pet Sounds. Like,
if they were both lying on the
level.
table, I would pick Dermot Kennedy every time.
And then listen to the better record right after?
No.
Like, you just saving the best for last, or?
Saving it for the garbage.
Holy cow.
No, I'm just trolling you.
Yeah, I'm aware. I'm aware. I, honest to God, when I'm looking over this, I think for me, the biggest surprise for me was that you picked the Black Album to beat the Dark Side of the Moon when you hate Metallica. Like,
I don't hate Metallica.
Yeah, you do. And, well, first of all, yes, you do.
Yeah,
and
I feel like you strongly dislike Metallica.
And second of all, like, you like songs on The Dark Side of the Moon. Like, I know you're not the world's biggest Pink Floyd fan, but, like, my favorite Floyd record, like, The Dark Side of the Moon is, like, probably my fifth favorite Floyd record off the top of my head, but I put it in there because I knew you liked songs on it. And I was like, maybe this will be enough to carry it through. And then when the numbers fell, I was like, oh, well, this is an easy week for me because she hates Metallica. And then if you go back and you listen to the episode, you went on for like 20 minutes about how much you hate Metallica. And then you were like, and there was a lot of bright spots in The Dark Side of the Moon. And I like this and I like this. And I was like, sweet. And I'm like, what's your decision? And you were like, the album I hate. And I was like, what? Like, what? Don't get me wrong. I, in no way, shape, or form expected Dark Side of the Moon to go all the way to the dance. I didn't think it was going to get in the finals, but I thought for sure that it was going to beat the Black Album.
In my defense, we were quarantined at home and I was probably drinking a lot.
Meaning what?
I don't remember that decision.
Oh, sure. Well, you made it here, sitting in the same chair you're in right now.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did. You would have made it here while I said, oh, you made your decision ahead of time.
No, I made my decision at my house. We were recording them remotely.
Oh, were we back then?
Yeah.
Oh.
I remember sitting in the basement.
Drinking?
Yep. Drinking,
just
yes.
Sloppy as hell. Just Metallica.
Michelle, between The Dark Side of the Moon and Metallica, what one are you picking? And then you just hear, go, where's my darts? Hold on. And then you hear thud. Metallica.
Like the last one you said. I don't remember the first one.
Truly, that was the one that shocked me the most. I was surprised when you didn't like Garth any more than you did going in.
Seriously?
Yeah.
That was surprising to you?
Yes. I didn't think Garth was going to beat Led Zeppelin 4 by any stretch of the imagination, but I thought that you would like it more than you did, and no. You did not like that.
I put that in there because I love that album, and I also wanted Michelle to fully listen to it.
Asshole.
Yeah, it's a good, solid Garth record. Yeah. So now we know she's beyond hope. So at least
I thought it could have made some redemption happen after she fell asleep at the concert, but it didn't work.
Another surprise for me was I really thought you were going to go with Eminem over Carole King, or what? No, that wasn't you. That was social media, wasn't it?
That was social media.
By the time episode 13 got around, yeah. What would you have picked if it was?
No, I said Eminem was my choice, but then I said I wanted it to be Carole King, but honestly, if they were sitting side by side, it would be Eminem.
Gotcha.
See, I wasn't drinking so much. We were here. I remember that one.
Right. Episode 10 was decided by social media. I wasn't surprised that Led Zeppelin ended up carrying it over. And for me, like I say, I think that was just more of a sentimental thing. But then Led Zeppelin carried all the way through to the damn finals from there.
I'm really surprised Dermot Kennedy didn't make it past the second round.
I know. It's crazy, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just to be clear, because what did Dermot Kennedy go up against in Pearl Jam 10? Okay, by episode 11, that was decided on by the listeners, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because of the controversy involved with that, Dermot Kennedy could have been going up against a paper plate as an album. Like, people could have been like, I put a paper plate on my turntable and I listened to the whole side of it, and people would have been like, I still like the paper plate better. Like, just because of the whole controversy. So,
no.
But I have to say, like, Purple Rain had the hardest road in this whole thing. I mean, hands down. I mean, the record started out going against Rumors, which is a monster record.
I couldn't choose.
Yeah, you couldn't choose, and so that's the first time we had to call on social media. And then it ended up going head up against Thriller, which has probably been debated online since the beginning of time.
Oh, yeah.
If it was Led Zeppelin 4 against Rumors, let's just say Rumors made it all the way, what would you have picked?
Led Zeppelin 4 versus Rumors. Jesus. I probably still would have stuck with Led Zeppelin 4. And
Rumors all the way.
I mean, absolutely no disrespect towards Rumors at all, but I would have stuck with Led Zeppelin 4 for the same reason that I picked it over Purple Rain, in that a million careers were launched off of Led Zeppelin 4. Actually, and there's 3 or 4 songs on Rumors that I don't like. And there are 0 songs.
A couple stinkers?
Yeah. For sure. Not skippables, stinkers. Flat out stinkers.
We need a chart of which one is skippable higher than stinkers. I need like a flow chart.
Well, you come up with that hierarchy. You're the one that came up with the term stinkers.
That's your verbiage, man.
No, skippable is not mine.
No, stinkers.
Not up in here.
Not up in here. So, I know I said this before already, but we can't thank the listeners enough.
It's been so much fun.
Yeah, it has. So much of this depended on people listening every week, in a fairly quick turnaround. Get the episode on Friday and turn around, and I was thinking most people were going to be like X album versus X album, and the last time I listened to these two, this is what I thought, and people were like, I listened to this one 6 times in a row, and then this, and I was like, whoa, like
that's dedication. Not only are you listening to us talk about it,
I was like, for sure you put more energy into this than Michelle did, and then way more than I expected everyone to. So
I am curious to know if anyone listened to Trilogy all the way through.
I don't know,
or if they broke it up into albums.
I know I did. I'm sure I said this on the episode, but I listened to the whole thing twice, and I did at least twice, and I did once. I did all in one sitting, and then the other one I actually looked up the Wikipedia for it to see where the album markers were supposed to be. Because if I was ever going to put The Wall in this, and you stream The Wall, The Wall has a definite stopping point story-wise between Goodbye Cruel World and Hey You.
Yeah.
I would expect you guys to look that up and not just go barreling through the story. I thought he just killed himself. Why is he singing Hey You? There's a reason why. So I on purpose looked that up, and I was like. And it worked better for me separately.
Yeah, it was. So it's confusing because if you go to Spotify, it's just all bunched together, and you don't know what is what.
Yep.
Or any streaming service for that matter. But they're very much all separate records. They did not come out at the same time, and they're not about the same things.
That's why you're a cheater.
So they all very much should be listened to separately.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And it's easy for me to understand that because I have the physical, the CD booklet that has them all separated, and it's all individual things. But
so I'll say this through the listeners and through us, I have to say that Purple Rain is the first official certified
right record. Right record.
So I gotta assume next time Warner reissues it, it's gonna be like the 1984 classic, the soundtrack to the film. 7 number 1 hits, great record. I have to assume that we'll be on the hype sticker going forward.
I'd also like to pour one out for all of my records that just did not make
do better.
Holy cow! I know I keep saying this, but we can't thank everybody.
It's been so much fun. Thanks, everyone.
So, yeah, thank you.
Y'all got one more main episode coming to you next Monday. So for this one, just throw your thoughts up on Facebook. Whatever you want to say about the tournament as it wraps up.
I'll pin it.
Yeah, Michelle's going to pin it.
Talk to us.
Bye.
Bye.